In this video, I'm going to show you a little technique that might save you a lot of time and clarify the fog, the mist of how you see AI, how you see content, how you see just how you show up in life with all the different pieces of your life. All right. So the idea here is lens and lanes, lens and lanes. So imagine that, well, you don't have to imagine, I'll draw it here for you. You have your lens, which is basically how you see the world, the way you show up, your perspective, your vision, right? Your persuasions, your deep desires. This could be a lot of things, just the way you're wired. Let's just say that for simplicity, the way you're wired, the way you see the world, and your lanes. For lanes, let's think of this as your expressions, right? The way you now are able to move because you have clarity with your lens. The way you see determines how you move. All right. So lens is all about seeing clearly, and lanes is how you move. If you know what a roundabout is, depending on where you grew up, which country you're in, these four different directions coming together, or it can be moving away from the central point. So you have roads going out in different directions. Let's, for simplicity, let's use that analogy. All right. So basically, the way you see determines how you move. And let's apply this to your AI strategy, for example, right? Social media content or your content in general, right? Your intellectual property. The lens is your context, right? Let's choose another color here. So the lens is your context, your unique context, and your lanes is your content. Context and content. When disconnected for me, I began to see AI differently in its rightful place because honestly, I didn't know how to interact with AI appropriately. I was struggling with it at first, but now I have found a way to put it in its rightful place because the context basically um, that's your intellectual thinking. That's your thinking, your intellectual property. So like your visual frameworks, your visual models, your unique um, basically any way you think naturally, you want to feed your AI first, and then that's the context. You add it to your AI, and then you're able to produce beautiful content or relevant content that is inspired from your own thinking. So you don't just jump straight to AI, right? So your context basically is, let me put this in a different color. We're talking about context and content, and you have AI in the center. Let's choose a different color here. I'm making this visual because this is how I personally understand things faster. And a lot of my clients, I realize, in the process of developing their visual IP, the intellectual property, when they see me sketching, they get clarity in the process. So that's something that I always like to do when I'm trying to explain something these days. So you have the AI in the center, right? You want to have context first, then you go to AI, then you have your output, which is your content. Right? There might be different frameworks to break this down even better or even in more detail. But on a high level view, listen, there's so much to think about these days when it comes to AI and business and content, right? This, I find, this lens and lanes approach helped me. I shared it with a few people already, and they seem to get it right away. Um, I hope that this is useful for you. I hope it helps you see, no pun intended, see more clearly how you can show up with your different expressions. If I take this a step further, you can think of it as the way you express yourself. So most people are not one dimensional. You have different sides of you. You might be a business person, you might be an artist, you might be a musician. There's different spheres of your life, right? And just looking through this context content lens again, if you just write on paper, this is an exercise to try. You write on paper all the things that you are interested in, all the things that make you who you are, right? The things you do, the ways that you feel alive, your context, right? And then on another list, separate list, you write the expressions, and you might be able to categorize, okay, what is really fueling what, right? Your context will fuel your content. So therefore, you might realize, oh, well, at the core of me, my context, I like to interpret complicated visuals and ideas for people. I do that with my eyes closed, right? I'm just hardwired that way, right? I think in metaphors and visuals. So I see myself as an interpreter, but I express myself as an artist. There's the work component. There's even personally, I created the cloud challenge. That's a whole different conversation, but you should check it out. Cloudchallenge.com is basically a practice to keep us mentally and creatively sharp in this age of AI. But that's an expression of me. So sometimes when I'm thinking about social content or just content in period in general, I always go back to, okay, what are these pillars or these categories in my context? Like, who am I? And then secondly, how do I express myself? Let me know if this is helpful. If it is, great. See how you can apply it in different areas, not just to AI strategies, but to your own life. To yeah, let me know how this is helpful for you.